In this week's episode, we provide a seafood buyer's update on Alaska's summer salmon fishery and an update on China processing. Let's start with Alaska. Overall, the salmon harvest throughout Alaska over the last 4 weeks are below industry expectations, with year-to-date landings the shortest in at least 12 years, according to a recent McDowell Group ASMI Alaska Salmon update. Sockeye catches have caught up a little since last week, but are still significantly lower than last year, and the predictions for Russian sockeye are also much smaller than anticipated. Current sockeye landings are for about 720,000 fish, translating to approximately 70% lower than the same time in 2019, where more than 2.8 million sockeye were harvested. The average size sockeye being landed in the bay is about 3 pounds in the round, which is considered small, translating to an average headed and gutted size of 2.25 pounds. And industry experts are predicting another year of mostly 2 to 4 pound fish. Chum salmon harvests of about 940,000 fish are about 60% lower than the same time last year, and Chinook landings of about 35,000 are roughly 40% lower year to date. For pinks, strong landings in the Alaskan Peninsula and Aleutian Islands have contributed to 1.4 million fish being landed. This harvest is well above the same period in 2018 of 256,000 fish, and just for comparison, in 2019, about 7 million fish were landed same year to date.
Everything is connected by water. Sea to cloud. Cloud to rain. Rain to river. River to sea. When you touch water in one place, you're touching it everywhere. The Pebble Limited Partnership have been trying to construct a copper mine in the headwaters of Bristol Bay's salmon country for decades, and an ominous threat descended once again onto Bristol Bay's future, and also onto mine.
How they can be hatched in these river systems, find their way out to sea, spend 2 or 3 years in the ocean, and come back to the exact same place that they were born. It's absolutely amazing to me how they can do that.
You can't not think about them somewhat mythically.
I think it's valuable to protect all of our wild places. We're running out of them.
If you want to see magic, come to Bristol Bay, Alaska, and you'll see magic.
Do we love salmon? I don't even know if love's a strong enough word. It is who we are. It is who our people have been and who our people will continue to be.
And the statute says if we get a permit, EPA at that point can decide whether it wishes to veto this project. I don't think it will if we get a permit.
Some things are not for sale.
Unless we change our attitude towards wilderness, we're going to go down with the other species. We lose wild salmon, we're going to lose ourselves too. It's all there in nature, as far as I'm concerned.
We have messed up every other natural run in the world, except this one. And this being the last there is makes me want to pay attention more than I ever have.
And we're going to do it up here, and they ought to get ready for it.
Now is a time to plan out your sockeye needs to last you until next summer. Our recommendations for the past few weeks is to make sure you have enough sockeye to last at least until November or December from 2019 inventories. If you want any sort of sockeye program involving fish from the 2020 season, you will need to pre-book now to ensure you can source the fish that you want. One way that major supermarkets are dealing with the current shortage of fresh sockeye is to use refreshed until there is more fresh available. There is still a significant amount of 2 to 4 pound and 4 to 6 pound headed and gutted #1 quality sockeye from 2019 available, and Tradex has the ability to offer it to you in either fillets or H&G. Now on to China. Processing plants are still under tremendous pressure with inventory, cash flow, and food service orders. Only a few plants are actually busy, whereas a handful of plants are running only at about 60% production capacity. Some plants reported to have almost stopped production and are now relying on custom packing orders for Japanese customers. Raw material pricing has remained relatively unchanged this month. For Pacific cod, plants are still sitting on inventory and are trying to move whatever they can for cash flow. Russian frozen at sea trawl is around $2,600 per metric ton, longline around $3,000. Alaskan is about $300 to $400 more expensive than Russian at around $2,900 for frozen at sea trawl and $3,300 for longline Alaskan fish. Atlantic cod have remained around $3,700 per metric ton, and flounder are sold between $1,500 to $1,750 per metric ton. For haddock, pricing seems to be at the bottom, or at least very close. Earlier in June, pricing was anticipated to drop to $2,500 per metric ton throughout the month, but is still currently around $2,800 per metric ton. For salmon, pink salmon raw materials are short, so the price went up high from $1,800 to $2,600 per metric ton, with rumors that plants are anticipating that both pinks and chums will be short this season. Thank you for joining me for the Tradex Foods 3-Minute Market Insight. This is Kyla Ganton, reminding you to stay safe, buy smart, and eat more seafood.